All right, so we should be live and streaming live on Facebook now. Welcome to the High Performance Living and Business Show. I'm Eric Mortimer, and today I've got with me Brad Leslie, who is being a top real estate agent in Vancouver and Western Canada. He's also passionate about young men's initiation weekends, and he co-founded the Young Men's Adventure Weekend. And been instrumental in other young men's work throughout the world. And he was recently featured on CNN with Lisa Ling, and we'll talk more about that. Welcome, Brad.
Morning, Eric. Great to be here.
So a lot of our people in our group are entrepreneurs and real estate agents. And something that keeps on coming up over and over again is mindset. And it's become really clear that mindset is so crucial in business, and in particular, I think even more in sales than anything, having the right mindset versus your technical skills. So I really want to dive into that and what has helped make you successful, because I view you as a man on purpose, which is one of the key things, I think, to having a key mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah, so purpose, like there's so many things that influence our mindset, right?
We're going to start with it, yes.
Yeah, so inside of that, well, before we start with that, just tell us a little bit more about yourself and a brief background.
Let's see, Canadian born, English bred. I went to a Harry Potter school in England. I lovingly say that I'm a rock and roll bass player, so the guitars, filling in between gigs by selling real estate for the last 40 years. I've been with RE/MAX for 30 some years. Was married, everyone's wife things. Nice lady. 2 gorgeous children. They're more successful than I am, so that really keeps me humble. RE/MAX for 30 years. Greater Vancouver. Basically all of southern BC. It's been pretty steady.
Yeah. Exciting to see the you've had some pretty fantastic years in a week for some.
It's not like, okay, it's Monday afternoon, send me the next deal. It's crazy weeks and then empty months, you know.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy as some of the TV shows make it out to be.
I don't know. I used to have hair. I had hair when I started in this business.
Yeah, and you're only 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and along the way, me and a buddy Andy started the Young Men's Adventure Weekend. 31 years ago this week.
Right.
20 years ago. Well, we didn't have one last year because of the plague. It's like a men's weekend for teenagers.
Right.
Yeah. The basic core is we're looking after the next generation of men because they need all the help they can get, particularly with this insane planet out there. There's no mentoring, there's no guidance, and yet somehow they're expected to just hit 21, 25 years old and be fully formed and amazing. And they're not. And so it falls to us, the uncles and the elders of the village, to look after the young men of the village. So we put together this Wild Man Weekend out in the wilderness to kick the crap out of them. Did I say that? And give them a few challenges for them to discover what they're made of.
Right.
There must be something in it that works because it's been rolling along for 30 years. And in fact, it's been dragging me along. I'm just a humble servant of the work. So it's, I stand by the door. I know where it comes from and I make it work.
So why is that work important to you?
You can Google whoever said serve or suffer. See, on this planet, we're all a bunch of scared, lost children trying to find our way home. And those of us that are a little ahead and got a couple of things figured out, not everything, it's up to us to help each other find our way home. So it's being of service to everybody in whatever way you can. So being of service is what makes the difference.
Right. So bringing that back to mindset, when you have that servant mentality. I'm guessing you have it with clients as well, but when you're actually outside, so I don't want to keep this as a one-dimensional thing with just talking about serving real estate agents or serving real estate clients. How does your service with the Young Men's Adventure Weekend and all the work that you do, actually you're helping men that are in production as well along the process. How does that influence who you are and how you show up?
It seems to open other doors in the psyche. It takes you to other places. If it's just for me, I don't want to do that. But if I got to help you or that guy do a thing on Saturday, I'm there.
Right.
And yes, I'll push over. I want to sleep in. I don't have the time. Whatever it is, you get past your own inner barriers. So when there's the other, the individual ceases to exist. When there's the other person, the other commitment, the other thing you're going to do, the client, the wife. Nice wife, you got that picture behind you. When there's the other, the individual ceases to exist. So it's not my wants, it's how can I serve you?
Right.
And in doing that, you expand your comfort zone, you kind of build your psyche.
Right.
Service.
And we can't be in depression when we're serving somebody else.
Can't be depression, can't be self-centered, ego. You know? It takes you to a whole other world.
Right. Even outside of fear, I've used that. If I'm going to do a speaking thing and I start to go into fear, I remember that if I'm in fear, I'm thinking about myself. I'm not thinking about the audience. I'm not thinking about the groups that I'm delivering to. So it can take us out, serving can take us out of fear, out of depression and a number of other things. Does it also put you in a place of power? Like, do you show up differently when you're on your way to creating one of these events?
Yeah. Go back a little bit to the mindset. I was thinking that when you start in the business, it's fake it till you make it. And on the inside of, yeah, I can do this. I'm a great realtor or a great business. I can take care of this for you. On the inside, it's scared shitless. What if it doesn't work? I need the money. All those scream donkey things. After a while of being of service and helping out, confidence grows. And with confidence, there's self-knowing. And then there's just this solid, well, power is the closest word, but I don't want any negative shadings of power. When I go into a real estate deal, negotiation, or even consult with a client, I know that I have all the resources. When I take 100 men out in the wilderness for a weekend and the buck stops with me, I'm responsible. I carry the weight of the whole thing. So there's a little bit of, now I call it heightened awareness. It's not fear, it's just heightened awareness.
Right.
There's a self-knowing and there's a power that comes with it. It takes a while to build that muscle, but it's there. Beautiful.
Yeah. So it is a muscle. The more you do, the more you do.
Yeah. It's a beer stein with tea.
Sure it is. Sure it is. Yeah. There's a little tip if you're drinking wine, you blow on it first to make it really make people believe that you're drinking tea. So you're building up. You get stronger. So you grow as an individual. The more you serve.
It's also self-discovery, because in doing real estate, where I'm serving people for 40 years, and what do you call those things? Children for 40 years, and now grandsons. And then Young Men's Weekend for 30 years, and whatever else I'm doing. It's a voyage of self-discovery. Oh, I was afraid to do it. I couldn't do it. Oh, now I can do it. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. I have strength here. I'm not scared walking on thin ice. I'm walking on solid ground when I'm doing this. So it's a incremental self-discovery process through all of this.
Right.
And self-strengthening.
Right. So through that, you're become a better person, a stronger person. You're going to evolve as a businessman. Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, even so, doing this for 30 years, this is certainly not the intention, but doing volunteer work, I'm guessing you also get some business from that as well, because people know, like, and trust you and know what you do.
if I stray, remember that question and come back to it. It's important. When Andy and I started the Young Men's Weekend, it's a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all the different men's organizations where men look after each other and they support mentoring the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And we started this thing for teenagers and saw some brilliant results.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first few years, it took the best of my energy in a day. Like those old bottles of milk where the cream was on the top. All the good energy in a day would go to production, and then whatever was left over was for real estate. And the damn thing nearly bankrupted me a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But by doing it, one, it's being of service. And I don't know the exact domino linkages from being of service to the planet. People would see that. Hey, that guy's kind of cool. Oh, and he said he was going to do it, and he did it. That's good. So by ripple effect,
Mm-hmm.
I never started the Young Men's Weekend to do business, but now it's part of the persona. It's all it's equal billing with Remax. Well, yes, see on the Zoom, my name thing there on Zoom, Brad Leslie Remax YMAW. And now for the last 10, 15 years, I haven't picked up the phone. Business just comes to me.
Right.
Because I put in the first 20 years of solid work.
Right.
So the more you contribute, give till it hurts, serve or suffer, there's some linkage that just runs it right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're directly connected.
Go giver, and there's karma in there. There's all kinds of things that are
yeah,
for sure.
Or the blessings of whatever your favorite god is. You know, it's a system that works for me.
Right. Yeah.
The more you give, the more you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it almost becomes its own economy as well.
Kind of, yeah.
Inside of there. So you're on fire doing the events. Is there a contrast at all? Do you notice a difference? So when you're creating something, when you're on purpose versus there's going to be some downtimes. Is there a definite difference between when you're on purpose and when you're serving and when you're not? Do you notice
Oh
it?
yeah, when the production for an event's 3 months before, and then a month or two afterwards for cleanup. So it's like a 6-month cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I really get lazy. Like I don't have time for any fluff or anything that's not totally on point.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like the backwash, the recovery time. So it's hard.
Right.
It's not fun. It's gratifying though.
Right.
And as we age,
Mm-hmm.
it's tougher, in the bushes.
Right.
But then it gives a reference point to being that way of being laser-like and on purpose and on point that I can call on anytime.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just during the time of production.
Right.
I've learned that skill. I've spent hours in the gym strengthening that muscle,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's there all the time.
Right.
When something needs to get done, boom, it's done.
Right. So you have that anchor. Well, it's become your way
and
of
for a higher good.
Mm-hmm.
The moment it starts getting corrupted,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to work.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, am I going to make some money on this, or maybe I can do that? It's something nefarious,
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you aim for the highest, or whatever I can perceive to be the highest, or whatever my angels tell me to be the highest, it'll go well.
Right. So can you say more about that? Are you open to saying about your angels or guides or wherever your source, what is it that serves as a guide for you?
There's a whole huge chunk of advanced metaphysics in all of this. Early on, when the wife and I came out to the left coast of Canada, a pair of hippies back in, I think hippies was before your time. You were probably conceived by hippies. I called it walking the two worlds. There was the meditating vegetarian astrology guy, musician or guitarist, and there's the business guy trying to make it in real estate.
Right.
And then both parts of my life flourished, such that the one group can't understand the other one. We had a huge birthday party for me a few years ago, and my children invited everyone in my phone book. There's 120 people there from all aspects of my life. This would be kind of cool. Like there was the savage redneck men out in the wilderness guys, and there was my downtown real estate clients and my realtors from the office and a bunch of musicians. And I've always counted as I walk the two worlds.
Right.
And with me, it's normal, you know. Yes, I play pianos, that's a piano, and guitars. I walk the two worlds. And we all have it to some extent. With the Young Men's Weekend, yes, I'm the authority on this stuff, or one of the authorities. There's no one in this configuration of initiation work that's been doing it longer than I have. I'll say in white man's world, there's a lot of the native elders that are been doing it longer. But 30 years continuous, there's very few. But I haven't read a book on it, I haven't done a course on it. It all comes from before. I've done this before.
Right.
I arrive with a full load of this thing. In fact, when I'm producing these things, it's more like I'm remembering how it's done. And to that end, I have right here in the air above my right shoulder, a circle of angels, my elders council, that are the elders council for the planet for initiation world, and they whisper to me. So I get a lot of help from the other side.
Right.
You don't have to have a strong connection and practical evidence, but knowing that we do get a lot of help from the other side, knowing that you get a lot of help,
right,
really helps.
Sure.
Whether you see it or not initially, the different matter and the proof and the evidence, but knowing that there could be help from the other side, you will get help from the other side.
Right.
Because those guys up there, that just busted to help you.
Beautiful. Well, we don't need to know how electricity works to turn on the light.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So there's a number of entrepreneurs, a number of real estate agents on here. It sounds like if I was going to ask you 3 or 4 tips how to grow business or grow sales, the first one is obviously going to be service. We've talked a fair bit about that.
Serve.
Serve are the 3 tips.
End of story.
Okay, what's the 4th and 5th then? Yeah. So if you're somebody that's in either in a sales slump or just beginning, what
anywhere, not top guys in my office, get a mentor. Find someone that's a lot better than you are, maybe 20 years older, that's done it before, and doesn't have to be in the same field, but a guy who's been in business or something, or if it's real estate or whatever it is, get a mentor, someone who's older than you, and someone who is not going to be polite and not going to buy your BS and kick your ass.
Right.
If you show up for your meeting once a week with the guy and he tells you a story, oh, you'll feel better next week, bye-bye. You know, have you done this yet? Have you done that? Okay, pay the fine. No, just I've done mentoring with rookies in real estate, and it's painful, but then they thank me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same thing with the coaching, the high performance coaching that we do.
Yeah, coach, mentor, yeah, elder, uncle.
Yeah, I'm not there to be their friend, but I am there with love, and sometimes love looks different
Yeah,
than we expect. Love is not babying somebody.
No. Have you seen martial arts? You know, as you're going through the belts, as you're going through the ranks, the guys above you are going to kick the crap out of you, to strengthen you, and you can learn to defend this and whatever. It's exactly what the Young Men's Weekend. It's the men of the village helping the young men of the village. How many different ways do I have to say this? We're all lost souls, and we're here to help each other find our way home to strength, fulfillment, whatever you're looking for.
I was at a temple in in India, and there's a Buddhist teacher um, counseling a kindergarten teacher, and she was saying, "Oh, I can't practice compassion with these kids because they'll walk all over me, and they'll get hurt." And so I think you misunderstand what compassion is. Compassion isn't just being nice and letting people do what they want to do. Like if a little kid is going and I want to cross the road, I want to play on the road, it's not being compassionate to let them play on the road because that's what they want to do. The compassionate thing is to grab them and say, "What the heck are you doing?" and teach them not to do that again. So a lot of people misunderstand love and compassion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These actually watched the Lisa Ling special that you're on, and yeah, sometimes that love comes out different ways for the
Oh yeah.
young men to get it.
Oh, yeah. It's not your mommy's weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with young men, so they learn differently than young women as well. We're not the same. We're not hairier,
I'm not going to talk
smellier.
about those guys. I love them. The young men being barked at, they respond to it
Mm-hmm.
because they have within them the archetype, the element of the warrior, and the warrior always has his leader above him.
Right.
When you're 15, you're not the samurai with all the red lacquer armor on. You know, you're just a foot soldier. And in order to progress the ranks, you need the ones above you,
Mm-hmm.
kicking your ass and protecting you. And it's amazing how they responded. They just do this, okay, but do this.
Yeah, well, they're dying for it, and
Yeah.
the divorce rates at 60,
Oh, don't get me going.
70% or whatever it is now. It's the women are raising them, and they end up going to gangs or things like that where they end up getting that structure. So it's amazing work that providing that.
Put in the credits here, just reference all of that. My friend Warren Farrell, in his book, The Boy Crisis, wrote it with John Gray. Yes, the John Gray from Men from Mars,
Right.
The Boy Crisis, and it's all the stats on the horror show that's out there.
Yeah.
Back into tips, service, mentor, and pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Because in here, there's everybody you know. Hey, Eric, it's Brad here. How you doing? You surviving the plague? Yeah, good. How's the wife? Good. Hey, I'm just going for real estate for the year. Are you planning on moving? No? Okay. You know who else might be? No, thanks. Bye. Call the next one. These people love you. These people know you. These people are connected. You have a relationship with you. It's already there.
Exactly.
So it all comes out of your phone.
Yep.
It's in the family.
Over and over again, people will do business, given the option. People will do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
All those websites that harvest emails and 1,000 anonymous leads, you still got to convert them all.
Yeah, you still got to pick up the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, but these guys pick up the phone.
Yeah. And then go into service, and turn them into raving fans.
How can I help? What do you want to do? I can do that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, and everyone's different. I've done over 1,000 deals, and everyone feels a little different because the flavorings, the people, the personalities, and but they all go the same. Bought or sold, transaction, commission, buy.
Right.
Do you have any friends? Get there down the line.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everything you've said here. What I'm hearing is being a man on purpose, having something that's bigger than you, being of service to others has improved you as a human being and as a businessman. If you're just starting out, get a mentor and pick up the phone. Any final tips for our agents or entrepreneurs before we finish up?
Final tips. Yeah, I don't want to borrow someone else's language, but I will. And you're chasing the man you're going to become in 10 years. Like, yeah, today I got this problem, that, and I'm broken. The wife's yelling at me, and the car's broken, all the problems. Well, that's just God's little challenge to see what you're made of. But in 5 or 10 or 15 years, you're going to be further up the ladder.
Right.
If you apply yourself and conscious and do all the right things. So knowing that, oh, here's the fun one. That guy 10 years ahead of you is already inside of you.
Yeah.
Listen to him and he will get you there.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's this rock solid faith thing. And when you first try it out, bullshit doesn't work. Then you I'll try it. Oh, that worked. And then that worked. And with time, it's building the confidence to follow yourself.
Right.
I think a lot of stuff is just developing your own confidence from. Remember a while ago I said, there's the fake it till you make it, but on the inside you're scared shitless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then we're all scared, lost children trying to find a way home. There's that whole scared thing that we have.
Right.
As you come back into, you build degrees of confidence and survival and success. It builds and builds and builds. And it takes time and a lot of help.
Definitely. So it's so important to have that vision that's greater than our current circumstances, so that as things pop up, they're on the way, not in the way. So if we have this bigger understanding of who we're becoming, then it's no big deal. But if we're just stuck in the day to day and don't have that vision, we can be held up. All of a sudden, that rock is a boulder that I can't get over. And the other important thing I think of having that bigger vision is even the astronauts, they talk about astronauts going to space, and when they come back, they go into a depression because they've just gone to space. They've done this amazing things.
Yeah.
So it's important to have the next vision, the next step, the next goal to lead us, which
with every peak, there's always a valley, and it's time to John Cradian talked about great job. I think he called it backwash. Like you do the big thing, you're prime minister, and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's time to integrate and understand. And yet it feels like depression and sad because you're so disorientated, you're unconnected, thousand things. But it's a beneficial part of the process.
For sure, yeah.
Like go down to the cave and then rise for your next challenge, next dance, next project.
We just want to make sure that we're stepping up and not continually going down to the same spot and just reliving the same thing over again, that we're ratcheting up a little
about
bit.
Having a mentor or good men around you to teams are important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if there's a number of realtors on here, if they want to give you a referral, what's the best way to get a hold of you or to find you?
You're going to put all my contact information on the bottom here somewhere.
Yeah, so we'll have your contact information.
Call me Brad at REMAX in Vancouver. Phone number 604-626-3961. Write that down, children. 604-626-3961. And you're going to put up Young Men's Adventure Weekend website, my website, all the lines of stuff.
So YMAWS at ywmaw.com.
At ywmaw.com, yeah.
If you're interested in that, so there's opportunities for young men, and also if somebody wants to volunteer to help with something like that, they can do that.
Yeah, if you see a need in your town, call me, and I'll get you on track for doing something about it.
Right.
We have groups all over North America in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't suffer in silence.
No. And if you hear this kind of a message, then there's an obligation to do something about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nasty.
So fantastic. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions for Brad, we'll have his information down here. Any questions for me or high performance living and business accelerator program, feel free to reach out to me. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks, Eric. Great chatting with you.